Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome to your Thursday bonus video. You might have figured it out from the previous video. I was brushing my teeth, looked in the mirror, and I noticed the shirt I was wearing is of an old Marvel Treasury edition Conan the Barbarian. Well, it's this bad boy right here. And I was like, hey, I've got that. It won't take me that long to read it. I'll go check it out. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. As much as I love the old Treasury editions, when it comes to Conan and a few other stories, I really do prefer them in black and white. Sorry, the glare is just atrocious on this. But the cover is great, and I saw the shirt, and I didn't realize until today. It's like, oh, hey, wait. I just bagged and boarded these with new bags and boards as I'm going through my comics and trying to get them all, squared away so that they're safe, for posterity. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have that one. And sure enough, I have this one and a couple more of the Treasury editions. And I think, well, I've got several more of the Treasury editions. But I think between 2 and 3 of them are Conan, and I know I have at least one more. But, so I read this one a little while ago. And the first story, as it highlights on the cover, Red Sonja, and there were only a few, well, there's more than a few, but Conan stories with Red Sonja in them, mostly in the comic books. I don't know that there was ever a real meeting between the two in the Robert E. Howard novels. I haven't gotten, I haven't read one with her. Maybe Valeria was like I said earlier, a proto-Red Sonja. And the first story in it, there's 3 stories in the magazine, is the Song of Red Sonja, where Sonja, she's dancing on a tavern table, which is something I just cannot picture Red Sonja doing, dancing around a bunch of drunken, soldiers. And of course a bar fight breaks out. They run out, Conan and her. And she's like, I need you to help me with something. And of course, Conan's only got one thing on his mind, which is the last thing ever on Red Sonja's mind. She's like, well, help me and we'll see, which means help me and no. But Conan, helps her. And of course, it's another magical tower that they need to break in. She needs him to climb because Cimmerians are the best climbers in the world. And it's this bejeweled, freaking beautiful tower, kind of like the Tower of the Elephant. And he climbs it, piece of cake. He doesn't even need to make any rolls or anything. Gets to the top, drops a rope. They get in, and they're looking around. And she tricks him just like everybody tricks him. Hey, go look over there while I do this thing. And it turns out she was on a mission from somebody to steal a serpent tiara, which I think ties into a serpent tiara later on down the road. But she's looking around. She finds it. And then it turns into a giant golden freaking, monster, not Godzilla, but, a really giant serpent that she and Conan have to fight and defeat. And, they do. Conan kills it. But it gave me a great idea for something I'm going to use in another game. But the room was just like filled with treasure, just gobs and gobs of treasure. And after the big fight, Conan's like, yeah, let's just go. I'm done. I don't need all this money, the gems, jewelry and trinkets. He just said, nah, I'm not even gonna take one coin, which I just thought was preposterous. Like, you're in a room full of treasure. If you've got one pocket, that pocket's gonna be full. Of course, Conan never really actually has pockets, which is kind of dumb, but no pouches or whatever. So they say whatever. And they're trying to escape with the one horse that they had to share, and she does something, I forget exactly what, tricks him and rides off, leaving him in the lurch. He's all beat up, bruised, and scratched and scraped, and and she rides off just with, I believe she leaves with the tiara that she went there to steal, and he ends up with nothing for his troubles, not even a smooch. Kind of makes me like Red Sonja less, but it's the Marvel version, so I'm going to go read the Red Sonja novels later and find out if she's really, the way Marvel portrayed her. They drew her great. All the images of her, she looks great. She looks cool. Everything, but kind of dicking Conan over like that. Just, it's supposed to be like, haha, but no, just no. Then the second story, which was Night of the Dark God, which was also in Savage Sword of Conan, and I just read it last week, which was a really, really really sad story where it starts out Conan's chasing some people, some Vanir, I believe, who had kidnapped a girl, and he gives this fisherman like a hefty sack of coins for his sailing boat, his fishing boat, to chase them down, and it leads to the Isle of Swords. Somewhere along the road, he finds this statue of a dark idol that for him is like ridiculously easy to carry, like it's made out of light wood. I don't know what they mean by light wood, but he carries it and brings it with him and stuff because he's compelled to or whatever, and then he loses it and the Vanir get it, but it turns out the girl was Conan's childhood sweetheart, before anybody else, and he had gone back home to Cimmerian only to find out the Vanir had kidnapped her, and Thorfell, the chief, is planning on marrying her against her will. Conan gets to the island. He's all pissed off, sees that they're kind of gonna force her to marry him against her will, and instead she says, "Screw you guys, I'm going home," and grabs a dagger and kills herself before she realizes Conan's there to rescue her. Conan goes nuts, kills just about everybody in the raiding party in the island, almost everybody, and those he doesn't, the god statue does the rest for him, and just in the at the end of the story, the Picts come and take back their statue and leave Conan alone, which is kind of weird, but he's their oldest god from Atlantean times, and it was really sad, all that effort and trouble, just that far away from being reunited with his sweetheart, which would have obviously changed his entire life. He would have gone back to Cimmerian, they'd have lived happily ever after until he got the wanderlust and took off again. And then much to my surprise, the third story, my all-time favorite Conan story of all time, you guessed it, Black Colossus, this time in color, which was okay. I still prefer it in black and white, but you guys know it's a big long story with all kinds of cool stuff going on, gods moving in the background, a lich, a flying camel with a chariot and a demon, and just all kinds of cool stuff. And sure enough, this one had all that for the low price of, back in the day, $1.50. Now if you wanted a copy of this, you're probably gonna have to pay $20 to $50 for a copy of it. You might be able to get lucky. A lot of people don't really value those that much because they're the big size and they're bulky and they're kind of a pain in the ass. But I was able to read it without my readers, my reading glasses, which is a big plus, being able to read something just as is. Mind you, it is pretty big. It's like I'm guessing it's the actual size of Bristol boards. They just figured, you know what, let's just make it the as is and not have to do any shrinking or anything like that. But it's definitely one of my favorite of the Treasury editions now. I am going to go read some more of those, but I'm trying to find number one, which was the Land of Oz. I want to kind of read them in order, just for the heck of it, just so it gives me more time to put it off until I have more of them in a row, because most of the ones I have are Conan and Howard the Duck and a few other things that I really I'm not in a big hurry to read Howard the Duck. I will read it, but I'm digressing. This was a lot of fun. I'm really glad I got this shirt, because it reminded me that, hey, I should go read that. And now every time I wear this shirt, I'll remember not one, not two, but 3 great Conan stories, each one of them great for their own reason. Hope you guys enjoyed the bonus episode. I'm going to get back to King Conan and the comic books, and I'll have some more stuff for you before the end of the week. I might actually do 2 episodes a morning, just to try and get as much stuff done. I want to get to Conan the Conqueror at least before the end of the month, and finish up the Conan Omnibus 1 and Savage Sword of Conan Omnibus. Whether I'll get around to reading the Red Sonja paperback, I might wait and do that in Atlantean Autumn. You guys let me know what you think. I will see you guys later this afternoon for the book club meeting, unless we do something else. But until then, happy trails.